Hey, you guys, welcome to Steele Wars. I am Steele Saunders, and I do love Star Wars. Now, normally in this spot on Thursday, would be hanging out with our buddy Corey, but he is currently indisposed. So I activated an idea I had a little while back, one of which is to maybe do some interviews live to air with you guys chatting along, combined with inviting on one of the curators. Let's get very highfalutin, of one of my favorite Instagram accounts, Star Wars Thrifting, and we'll get the address down like perfectly in 2 secs. So let's welcome to the podcast my buddy from Star Wars Thrifting, Silver. How you doing?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being had. And Silver and Steele together at last, huh?
What's our ship name? That's what I want to know. That's
it would be a shiny ship by the sounds of it.
A quite shiny one, so not bad at it.
So let's get the Instagram address. It's Star Wars _thrifting.
Yes.
Okay. And on Twitter, it's the same, but just Star Wars _thrift.
Yeah. And I'm so brand new to the Twitter world. I think I was kind of like a lurker, like just kind of checking in and all that stuff. But yeah, I decided to now I'm Twitter. So Star Wars Thrifting, same exact thing.
You got to start posting up some photos. I noticed you hadn't been posting like finds on your Twitter address.
Yeah, so I needed, I'm starting a YouTube channel starting Tuesday. I'm going to drop my first blogging. I'm starting blogging. So I said, you know what? I need to activate my Twitter just so I can, kind of get the word out. But
love it. And I'm thrilled to hear you're going to do like vlogs. We'll talk about that later because I'm involved in this other world that sort of is intersecting with your world as well. So that angle of the whole thrifting and vlogging is definitely of interest. But so how did you get started? Like, just what was the genesis of the Instagram account?
Well, I started in I think it was July last summer, when we were all going through one of those times, What
do you mean?
What was that?
What do you mean? How was last year weird for you?
Well, last summer.
Yeah, how was that weird?
It was just I don't know. It was just one of those weird times.
No. One of my favorite characters around the house is Guy that hasn't heard about COVID yet.
Yeah.
So whenever Jackie mentioned something was cancelled, and I'm like, oh, why was it cancelled?
Yeah, like why?
COVID, what? Huh? I don't news.
Yeah. No, for sure. Honestly, I've always been into going to garage sales, thrift stores, just anything, that's always kind of just been what I've enjoyed doing. A lot of my family members are into, going through, like my mom, even like when I was in high school, like I think my mom was like, knew the trend before it was the trend. She would always go find like some cool, like expensive brands at like, at a thrift store. And it was so neat to do. But I started this Instagram page was because I started noticing that when I would post Star Wars stuff on my Instagram account, nobody was into it. And it's because I think we've all experienced you're usually the Star Wars friend or the Star Wars person in your like group, and nobody was getting excited. I'm like, yo,
how dare they?
Crazy stuff. So I say, you know what, let me make this Instagram account and maybe I can connect with other fans because I'm sure they're going to geek out with me. But also it was just, I just wanted to kind of like an outlet to kind of just, I guess, connect with other fans. And a perfect way to do that was just to post some pictures from me at the thrift store. So I met some cool people just by messing around with this little account.
Yeah, I don't even know how I came across it, but as soon as I was like onto it and following, the photos just warmed my soul, especially with like the prequel stuff, which like for a while in sort of, I don't collect that much, but I will never miss an opportunity to like if there's a thrift store or if there's a swap meet or even if there's a toy aisle, I'm heading down it. I'm checking out what's there.
Yeah.
Just out of professional courtesy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like the other day you had like episode 1 Pepsi prequel bowl cap, like a baseball hat, dad hat. And like 10 years ago, it would have been, episode 1 Pepsi, whatever. And now I'm like, episode 1 Pepsi.
Yo, what is up? Let's bring back the Pepsi merch, man.
How much Pepsi merchandise are you sitting on right now?
You know what? This is gonna be a first. You've heard it here first. I'm picking up, because I found on Craigslist a guy is throwing away an R2D2 Pepsi, like, when you go to a concert and they have like the cooler right there, you just gotta, he's throwing away. I guess he's had it. And that's another thing. I don't only just go to thrift stores. I am on Craigslist. I am on Facebook Market. People are throwing away things, especially during the pandemic time when it was first starting. When everyone's like, oh, let me go clean my garage. Oh, I don't need this anymore. I'm just going to chuck it. I'm like, yo, I'm finding some crazy things. So, yeah, a lot of, honestly, episode 1's merch is just something that just speaks to me, just because it's the warm fuzziness of I was 9 when that movie came out, and the prequels definitely was just my intro to Star Wars. So I just try and grab as many episode 1 merch as I can, but which I'm going to share with you a little bit. I actually some funny things out, but yeah, this R2D2 cooler. It's
no, you don't have to describe this to me. I'm talking
about, right?
It is one of my favorite things that I don't own. Like when I first moved here, I was on a hardcore search to get one because I love life-size collectibles. Like it's especially like life size, but cheap. Yeah. Like I always think that's really cool. And so I was, because they didn't come out in Australia. Those like it's like an R2D2 and the dome opens up and you grab your Pepsi. And there's a few different varieties. I think there's like a Revenge of the Sith one, and a Phantom Menace one. So when you said giving away, I was just like I tweeted before, I was like, I can't wait to, like gasp with jealousy over Silver's finds. I didn't realize I'd be gasping so early, so hard, and so desperately. I was just like, oh, yeah, that is an ultimate item. That is in my top 10.
I just can't wait until it's, we eventually get to those times where you can have a barbecue or something and have people come over. That's an ultimate flex. Like, I can't wait to show that off. Like, yo, like, you want a drink, you want a beverage, R2D2 got you. So
but Star Wars fans, you'll have half of them be really impressed and the other half like going, you can't put Pepsis in these. Like,
gosh, yeah, I know. Ready? Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, but I'm really excited about that. But no, I like any like episode 1 Pepsi, Taco Bell, the Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut trifecta of the promotional of episode 1 was just, I mean, that's probably like my earliest memory of Star Wars, and that's why I love it so much. So if I find those things, I'm gonna pick it up.
And for that time, like with all that Pepsi, like they went so hard on so many like bizarre like drink toppers and spinny that's and thisy thoo, and they really, like I saw the other day you had like an Anakin pod racer like coffee mug, like a big plastic
Yeah, like the little, it's like, it was a top, it's like those, so I guess every time you went to Taco Bell or KFC or Pizza Hut, you ordered a large drink for 99 cents more, you were able to get a cup and it had this topper of an episode one character. And of course you got to collect them all, right? But yeah, that was definitely one of those big craze. But yeah, I think you're talking about, it was a cup, a Taco Bell cup, and it has Anakin's like just from here up with his
Yeah,
little,
with the
yeah,
goggles on and
his little pod racing goggles. Ah, so cool.
and fast forward, I saw that you got like a Mandalorian t-shirt the other day.
Oh yeah. Again, like I'm just like, how are people just tossing this out already? But all right. I'll take it. I mean, if for $1.99, I'm not, I have a Mandalorian tee instead of spending $20. Here we go.
Well, and for fun, you can just theorize over what they were boycotting.
Yeah, I know. Like, exactly. I know.
I'm throwing out this t-shirt.
Exactly. Actually, that just makes sense now. Yeah. Just let me throw a fit and throw this t-shirt away. So whatever, I'll take it.
Now, speaking of t-shirts, the one that you're rocking now, give the, like, it's like this all over like tie-dye deal with then the asteroid battle from The Empire Strikes Back going on. That is my advice for you is don't commit any crimes in that t-shirt, because you are going to be very easy like that. That's not going to blend in with the crowd.
You know
Do you know
what?
what I'm saying?
Go down if they're gonna take me down because of a crime I committed, and then they're gonna put my picture all over the newspapers because of the crime. I rather look super cool, and this is a shirt I'm gonna be. It's not. Yeah, that's no big deal.
You go down swinging.
When they make the documentary series about like the crazy crime I committed, they're gonna talk about the Star Wars tee. So you're welcome, Star Wars.
So how long back had you started thrifting? Like you said that your mum was into all that sort of stuff. Was it like when you got into Star Wars with the Phantom Menace when you were 9? Like at what point did you sort of realize that there was this like really sweet, more economical and adventurous way to get your collectibles?
Yeah. So I would have to give my brother-in-law the credit, because he, when him and my husband's brother, when they were about to get married, he would go to all these flea markets, because instead of renting, he was trying to find a cheaper way to just have like the beautiful decorations by going to the, garage sales and finding these antique things. So I remember we would always go on the flea markets with them. I usually would go to the flea markets just for like, my plants and, other things. But I found there was this one time where I just found this Jar Jar doll just laying on a table, and my mind was blown. I was like, what on earth? It was just like, you talk about the cozy feels. That's why I love doing it, because it was just like, I was just like hit with nostalgia. And I was like, I didn't even know this doll existed. So that was my first find. And that was probably like 3 years ago. Of course, like the sequels are out, and, just like, it was just fun collecting Star Wars stuff and not just, not breaking my wallet at the same time.
Yeah. And for quite a while, like in the 90s, like Star Wars thrifting, essentially that was it, because they weren't making like any new stuff.
No.
The stuff that you could find like now would be worth so much, like all that stuff from the 80s and stuff like that. But like that t-shirt that you're wearing now, like I live just off Melrose Avenue, and there is at least a dozen stores that would sell that t-shirt for $100. Like it's like this whole craze of thrifting and vintage clothing. Mm-hmm. And there's like a very popular shop, Round 2, that have got a bunch of shops around the corner. And I like see on their Instagram account, they'll post up one of those full body Phantom Menace joints.
Yeah.
and it'd be like $120.
Yeah.
How are you faring? You know, now that you got to like raise the elbows up against the reselling fashionistas.
Yeah, I know. And it's crazy because I'll go to a thrift store, like you kind of already like I have an idea of who's reselling because you can just play, you know.
You can smell it.
Yeah, I'm like, I know I'm just kidding. No, you just I go to the same thrift stores a lot, so you know, you kind of interact with the same people and you know, but yeah, these t-shirts are not cheap now. And yeah, the vintage t-shirts all from like the 80s and 90s, those are just like what's the craze. But yeah, I honestly and that's the thing because I don't resell stuff. It's just more like just for my personal enjoyment. I don't really have like the extra pressure to find something because you know it's part of, you know, essentially a job. And again, I have nothing against those who resell. Like I love buying from resellers because you know it's I like finding, you know, they'll find some cool stuff. But yeah, it's now that I'm kind of because I on my Insta I do interact with a lot of vintage tea collectors, which is really cool because there's just some cool shirts that I just never knew really existed, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of just doing it for fun.
Yeah, there's something about once you start, because I see this like in streetwear and stuff, where once you sort of flip it into, I'm also going to start getting this stuff to resell, and that becomes your motivation. There's a certain level of fun and just like natural enjoyment sort of taken out of it.
Yeah.
And I guess that way you're you know, for you, you're only getting stuff that like you actually want.
Yeah.
Not that you hope someone else will want for a lot more.
No, have attachment issues. Never will make the Jedi Order just because I have these strong attachment issues to stuff. No, yeah, again, I just do it for my enjoyment, for you know, just to build my collection. You know, now, however, maybe someday down the road, I'll probably open up a small shop, and you know, whoever I can probably put some things out for sale. But you know, I do have people who reach out to me on Instagram if I find something, and if they something that they really really want, then you know, I don't mind, you know, sending it over. You know, but again, it's just sort of personal enjoyment. And you know what, I'm sure you know, those who do resell, I'm sure it's fun for them too, because you know, you're just out there looking for things that you really like. You become really knowledgeable. And that's how you just have a better eye for stuff because you know, you're like I can spot out like a vintage toy, I feel like, from just the toy aisle at a Goodwill. This isn't recent, and you know, which is really cool. Matter of fact, yeah, I picked up some ET like playing cards from like the Goodwill, and they were just so cool because they were just like from the 80s. I'm like, man, this is cool. But yeah.
The Brent Mason is in the chat. Wait there, I've just got a little pop-up thing that's interfering. He says trying to find a space to put it all is the real challenge, which brings up a pertinent question. Like I see all the stuff that you're like thrifting on your stories and in Instagram. Like how vast is these show? Like how much stuff you're sitting on? Because it just seems like you're amassing a sand sweet pile of episode 1 Pepsi cups.
Oh man. My husband is really nice enough to let me have the space in the garage. I don't know if you've seen this on my profile or my Instagram, but I do have like a prequel corner where I have just all episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. Just that for me, I just wanted to be just like what I would feel like if I was a kid again, like that corner. I have an old VCR TV there. It's just so much fun. It has the weirdest things on there too, like just like Slurpee cups or like, you know, like the fast food toys, anything from the prequel era, just in that area, the area. But I do want to say though, on my Instagram stories, I don't, just because if I post something on my story that I find, it doesn't mean I necessarily buy it.
Ah,
You know, it's I do, you know, it's just, again, I just like to share, like, hey, look what I found out here. And I think that's why people enjoy it so much. I do get a lot of comments that people say, hey, they honestly feel like they went on to the thrift store with me, just because I always post. But that doesn't, again, just because I post something in my story doesn't necessarily mean I buy it each time. Again, if I just have a personal connection with, or it's just something that's so strange and like no one really has it, then I'll take it. Of course, for a decent price.
fair is fair.
I'm gonna break my wallet there, right? But it's just fun, just sharing, I guess. And it goes back to why I started the Instagram page, is because it was just a way for me to connect with other fans and geek out a bit.
Nice, I love it. Now, let's pump up the jealousy. Let's see some of the sweet bangers that you're sitting on, and bizarre items. Love it all.
All right, I don't know where to begin first, but I did bring this Return of the Jedi
Ooh.
dialogue and music from the original motion picture soundtrack.
Dialogue.
Yeah, it's kind of like a story. Like it tells a story, and it has like clips and music from it's essentially kind of like an audiobook, but there's a lot more of the music. Yeah, so if you want to just listen to Return of the Jedi while you're cleaning, just pop it in the vinyl.
Not and whose voices is it? Is it like from the movie, or is it just like randoms?
It's from the movie. It's like dialogue from the movie. Yeah, it's pretty. But the bummer is it did come with a book, but when I got this, it didn't come with the book. So, but actually,
that is tight, because and that one doesn't fold open. It's just like a single.
No, open again. I think if you had the book, it would fold open. But yeah, see, it says it comes with a 16-page souvenir photo book that I did not, that I wasn't able to get. Yeah, another thing when you're out thrifting, sometimes it's not, you'll find something that it's missed. Sometimes there's things missing, and
Well, that the classic is the Star Wars novelization, and the colored pages, the way they were glued in, they always pop out first. And if you've got the novelizations and you can see the little colored paper in the middle, that juicy middle bit that you reward yourself with some movie photos, that was always one where it was like, oh, this one's got the color pics.
Yeah.
Still in.
This is the real stuff. Yeah, no, for sure. The one of those vinyl. I actually like collecting like records and any like physical media. I actually just got some laser discs the other day. So
Oh,
I don't have a laser disc player, but whatever. I had to get it. But yeah, any physical media, I try and collect as much.
I've got back home like an 8-track, or no, it's some sort of video cartridge thing that I was like, oh, I didn't even know this thing existed. So
yeah,
must have now. The records are always so good because sometimes like when they've got those pull out like pages and stuff like that, it's so nice, and just like the bigness of it. It is now what else you got?
Well, again, I just had to bring some Return of the Jedi stuff. So I also, the topic of physical media, I got the Return of the Jedi cassette.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I love, you just pop this in, you just get that crackly like sound in the background. It's so good. So good.
Does that have any like fold out pictures on the what?
It doesn't have any fold out pictures. It's just pretty much just like the cover.
I don't think I've ever seen
Yeah.
a cassette.
At the flea market, I actually picked up a little stereo just for the garage that plays CDs and cassettes. So I was really happy to find this. I also have the Phantom Menace on cassette, which
I
Duel of Fates on anything is pretty good.
oh
So
that that would be super rare, wouldn't it? Because that would be just when cassettes last breath.
I think so. Right, like 1999, right? I think that was probably it.
Yeah, because I remember having like the soundtrack on CD with the Qui-Gon spoiler on the back. Don't look.
I love some of my. It's funny because when I find stuff, I'll Google search stuff. I'll Google like, wait, where's this from, and all that stuff. Man, Phantom Menace, man, they didn't care about spoilers. They were just spoiling the whole movie. I was like, oh, this came out way before the movie came out, and it's like you're pretty much telling me what's going on. But yeah, spoiler city. I was like, whoa, they're wild there in 1999.
On the first ever episode I ever did with my comedian friend Danny McGinley back in Australia, he told a story how he read the final chapter of the Phantom Menace novelization in the cinema at the midnight premiere screening of the Phantom Menace. Right?
That's like, wait, what? That's insane. Yeah, because I know novelizations, they come out now after the movie is out, right? Or something like
that. Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy. I wonder how that would have affect would that you're in line about to watch the movie, but then it's gonna that's pretty wild. Yeah, they don't play like that anymore these days. Forbid that. All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. I love VHS tapes. I love again, over the summer somebody threw away a TV, the TV with the VHS already built in.
Oh, yeah.
Sony VHS TV with the VHS already put in. Somebody was throwing away, so I picked it up for free. Still works and everything. One of my favorite finds at the flea market earlier this summer, I actually come across these a lot, is the Star Wars trilogy box set. And just check this out.
The art and just the matching boxes. Oh, fold out.
Yeah.
Oh. That is nice, because we didn't have those sort of covers in Australia. So this is very exotic to me, but what a good use of cardboard.
Yeah, and then you have a little letter from George Lucas, which is pretty cool. So it's
wow, his hand must have been so tired after
having to write all those copies. Oh, that's exhausting.
What does George have to say, Silver?
He does have to say, 15 years ago, I set out to make a film for a generation growing up without family tales. Star Wars was my own elaborate fantasy, but its popularity has gone beyond anything I've had ever imagined. In years to come, I hope that you, your children, and your children's children will enjoy experiencing as much as I have. Signed, George Lucas.
Lovely, George. I hope so too.
You know what, George? You're just such a cool guy.
And so those are pre-special edition.
Yes. And I have the special edition tapes too. But yeah, pre-special edition. You know what? I lied saying that Phantom Menace was my earliest memory of Star Wars. I think it was those special edition tapes. Were definitely probably my first memory. Because I have a lot of uncles, and my dad they love Star Wars. I obviously I probably exceeded past them as far as the level of how much they love it. And I always blame I always blame them for it. But yeah, I remember my uncles and my dad, they would collect the Power of the Force line, with the green boxes, and but yeah, the special edition. VHS tapes are pretty fun.
Good times.
Good.
Very, very treasured
Very
cassettes.
treasured. All right, I just found this recently at the flea market for $1. I've never seen anything or heard anything of this before, but it's the Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith HBO. I guess they were promoting it because it was going to be on HBO in 2006.
And what is it, an eating tray or
Like some dinner tray? I don't know how you. I tried researching like how do people get this?
how does it sound? Give us a talk. Quality.
Knock knock. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I like it. I'm just probably gonna display it in my kitchen or something, but I thought it was pretty neat. It's an HBO, that's when I guess they were going HBO was gonna air it, I guess.
That is something I have never it's it boggles me when there's something like of that era that I just have never seen. That is sick.
I know. Never seen it before, but it's pretty wild.
Hey, play it straight with me, right?
Yeah.
Shoot with me. What it was a HBO Revenge of the Sith food tray go for these days on the thrifting market?
Honestly, I'm telling you, I Googled this thing and it's like it doesn't even appear anywhere.
No, but how much did you get it for?
I got it for $1.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just at the flea market. Like it was just like it, they were just getting rid of stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. So at the flea markets, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go and sell my stuff. Usually there's a lot of vendors who go and they, like storage wars where they go and buy out a storage.
Mm-hmm.
Either the storage, those who unfortunately lost the storage, they either couldn't pay for it or they just abandoned it. So they have auctions to buy out these storages, and that's where a lot of crazy things I find at the flea market is from the craziest things I find at the flea market, because these things have potentially been in storages for years and are barely seeing the light of day. That's why I feel like the flea market is just, I think that's where it's litty lit, as the kids call it these days. But yeah, so again, never seen that before in my life. I've Googled the thing, like Episode 3 HBO tray. Okay, doesn't work. HBO Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Okay, doesn't work. I don't know I don't have no idea. There's no information of this tray. It's wild. But again, that's why I love it. It's because it's so just bizarre and random. Now just going to be hanging out in the kitchen.
I love it. What else you got?
All right. This is a box I found at the flea market. If you open the box and you grab a handful of stuff, there is tons.
Oh, vintage Topps movie cards, piles of them.
It's a whole box. Yeah, it's just wild. We're wild. It's insane. I haven't had a chance to put these all together, gone through them, and I want to put them in a binder eventually. But yeah, I just at the flea market, I was like, what's in this bin? And it's a bunch of cards.
Oh my stars. What? The adrenaline rush. How are you dealing?
I love it. Again, that's why I wanted to start vlogging, just because I wanted people to experience my first initial reactions of dude, this is wild. Again, I'm opening this box. I'm about to freak out, and I look around. There's literally no one no one is freaking out with me. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm alone. But yeah, these are really cool. Just the artwork is really nice, and
Sick. What's on the back? What goes on the back of the R2 one?
Facts.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think some of them, it's a mix of top cards and also a mix of like the ones you got like in like the stick, like the, I don't know. But look at this.
Nice.
Very handsome gentleman. But yeah.
Oh man, that's golden. But like I watch a few like vloggers that do like thrifting for streetwear stuff and that. So that's like when I'd been meaning to ask you, like, you know, oh, you should do videos of this because like this genre of video, like the thrifting videos are quite popular. Then if you do it with a Star Wars twist, like I watching your stories, like I want to come on the adventure with you.
Yeah. Again, that's another reason why I wanted to start to do it, because it's just like, man, this is just fun. And again, it's just, you know, it's a hobby. This is a hobby for me, and this is what brings me so much joy. But I just love the again, I talk about like the interactions with other fans, and I think the best responses I get, it's like, wow, I had that as a kid. Thanks for reminding me. Now I can go and like track this down and find it on YouTube or something, or, you know, yeah, like for me, if it just brings like a smile to some people, that's what I really enjoy. I think that's what really gratifying for me the most. That's just like the additional cherry on top, you know?
I just have to give it up for Mike Nichols, the fandom editor on the Facebook chat. He threw in Revenge of the Thrift.
Yo!
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a good one. Okay. Next, this is just a random one, but it's a Star Wars nutcracker.
What? What year is it copyrighted in?
It's so bizarre, but I love it so much. It says 2011.
Okay. How's it crack nuts?
It's a TIE fighter. So like you have to, you know, turn the little screw.
That seems like a very slow way to crack a nut. Like if you're cracking several nuts, that's going to be quite a space battle.
Yeah. Again, it's just probably it's just been sitting on the shelf. That's like one of those things where like I just kind of had to get it because it was so like silly, but yeah.
It's like as a shiny bit of metal resembling a TIE fighter, like it's a sick like shelf piece.
Yeah, no, for sure. It looks kind of cool.
As a practical nutcracker.
It's not it's very tedious. I don't have the patience for it, probably. So I don't think I'd use it for a nutcracker, but it's really heavy. So maybe like a weapon just in case, like someone, you know. Speaking of, what are you going to, you know, we're talking about crimes earlier. So
you won't be able to protect, you won't be able to crack your nuts with it, but you can protect. Someone comes from, you can just.
I can definitely protect. So, all right. Next up, I have my story that I shared about me finding what really kicked off my obsession of finding Star Wars secondhand. This Jar Jar doll.
Yes. That is an epic use of the license. So what is it? Like an 18-inch half rubber, half teddy bear Jar Jar.
I guess he's an alarm clock.
He's an alarm clock?
Yeah, so you can set the timer and he like, I guess, wakes you up or something. I'm not sure. Animatronic stuff scares me. Like I was when the Furby craze came out. I think my parents got me a Furby just because it was cool. I didn't like it. It would wake up in the middle of the night and like traumatize me. So yeah, we don't put batteries in these things, but
that is killer. Because like apart from its alarm clockness, it's such a like a cool like shelf sitter.
Yeah, no, he's definitely, again, he's sitting in my prequel. If you guys want to take a check on my prequel little corner, it's on my Instagram. But yeah, he just completely just sits on the little shelf. All right. Sorry, just have some things all over the place.
You're all right. Let's
People always say, well, what's at the Goodwill? There's nothing there. There's just a bunch of old antique plates and boring stuff. I'm like, yeah, there's kind of cool, boring stuff, but there's also things like this.
Oh, mixed emotions, Silver, on this one. What year we got on that? Like 94, 5?
1986.
1986.
Yes.
Woo!
It says Han Solo in the Mos Eisley Cantina, first issue in the Star Wars plate collection. And it has the plate number and all of that. This is
rare.
So right now I'm in my office. It's a lot of just Star Wars stuff in this office plus my garage, but we have very like subtle like Star Wars stuff in like, in the other parts of the house. But this is definitely sitting on a shelf, our bookshelf in the living room. And also I have the whole trilogy set of the old Han Solo novels.
Oh, tight. Yeah,
I actually found those at the flea market, so I have a little cool vintage Han Solo shelf going on there. But yeah, I'm at a Goodwill.
That, like, 86, like, to have, like, the amount of Star Wars stuff that was produced in 86, like, that plate is a big part of it, because there was very, very little. And when you held it up, the reason I said mixed emotions is because in the late 80s, early 90s, in like the Lucasfilm, like the banter tracks or the Lucasfilm fan club magazine that became the Star Wars Insider, one of the few new products that advertised to sell were these commemorative plates. And I was just like, no, we want action figures. We want like, I don't want a plate. Like my grandma wants a plate. But now I'm like, I would salivate over adding a plate or two to my collection.
Yeah.
But 86, that is, I didn't even know a Star Wars thing got made in 86.
It's really cool. The quality is really nice. Yeah, I just found it. You know what I was actually looking for originally in those plates was my grandma QVC C3PO. That is amazing. I should open up a shop and like, have like a QVC kind of like hotline where you call this number and like have C3PO host it. That'd be amazing. Yeah, so what I actually was looking at those plates was because my grandma collects like these kind of Elvis plates.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, let me see if I can find a plate for grandma. And I came up with this. So I'm like, yo.
That is tight.
Yep. Love it. All right. So next up, something fell. I actually have I mentioned that I sometimes go like on Craigslist because people are throwing things out. So somebody was giving away a bin. This is what the ad said: bin of Star Wars magazines. I'm like, okay, so I clicked it, and then it was a bin, pretty large bin, like a storage bin, like it was sitting in a garage. And they said, okay, they wanted $20 for it because there's posters and just like random stuff. Let me tell you, I'm not showing the whole entire bin today, but there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of cool things. I got some cool like prequel bookmarks. There was cool posters that again from like it was all prequel era. It was a prequel era bin. So you talk about the Star Wars Insider magazines. I have Star Wars Insider magazines from the year 2001 to 2005.
So many news updates from Rick McCullum. So little time.
Yeah. Column updates. Can't miss those. But anyways, from that book, from that bin, I got these cool TV guide. Remember TV Guide. So for TV Guide, for those who don't know, you would have to go you would have to look up your TV Guide magazine.
Oh my God, lenticular.
Yeah. And then you would have to look up, what's playing on Saturday night? And then it would tell you what's playing Saturday night and what channel. So when Attack of the Clones came out, they had, I guess this is from May 11th to the week of May 11th through May 17th. So it was that.
How did they miss May the 4th by a week?
Yeah, I know how missed opportunity. So yeah, it was these that bin came with these TV Guide.
I've never seen those either, and that is sick. Oh my God, Darth Vader turns into Anakin. Oh, and Obi-Wan gets older, and then what is it? Anakin and Padme kiss or something in the other one?
And they're kissing. Look at that kiss action. Okay, it looks.
That is. Okay. I've never seen those, and that is dope.
They probably didn't want to have like the parents call and be upset because there's kissing. So they're almost kissing.
Ah,
close, very close. Yeah, but I love these TV Guides because they're really cool. Because again, this is something that people really don't usually. It's no Green Guide.
That's an Australian reference.
It's no Green Guide. Is that was that your guys' TV Guide?
Yeah. I used to do a podcast about the complaint letters to it.
No way. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, so these are pretty cool.
That like the Padme Anakin kissing one is amazing.
Yeah.
Look, dot. So close.
Yeah, no, seriously, like this is why I think what's so cool. It's like, again, they don't make these type of magazines anymore. So that was a fun, exciting one. And we're about to get a new Obi-Wan show, so kind of have to bust out the TV Guide for the Obi-Wan.
There's not enough lenticular magazine covers in the world.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. All right. I have next up is probably my favorite find ever.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you why. It's so random. And I talked about the fun Phantom Menace, Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell trifecta. But in 1999, they had this big old, when they were promoting Phantom Menace, Star Wars was back, they did it big. So I was at the flea market, and inside a storage box I found something that was wrapped around a vase. It's this Star Wars Episode 1 Pizza Hut coupon.
That's your favorite thing. What sort of deals are we getting on pizzas on the back of there? It's making Sal Perales hungry in the chat, by the way.
$1.99, or not $1.99. I'm sorry, $6.99 for.
I was gonna say
$6.99 for any large one-topping pizza.
I like that the flyers sort of die cut around their heads.
Yeah,
spared no expense.
Again, this just speaks to kind of like my idea or just my style. I'm gonna if I find something that I think is so cool, like, or I just have a connection with, or is so random, that's kind of what I like and enjoy. But currently this is sitting this is on top of our fridge, or displayed on our fridge from this ridiculous coupon from 1999.
The thing that I love about it is it would be such a hard thing to find any other way, but it was used as protection for a vase years ago. Like it's such a serendipitous way that it came about to get to you.
And that's the best part, because I go back to talking about the flea markets, how literally these things have been in storage. So, someone must have put all these vases around this time when they had a coupon like this laying around, and they wrapped it up and put it in a storage, and it never saw light of day until last summer when I picked it up. And it was so funny because it was literally a display of like antique vases, antique cups, and it was just like these amazing paintings and portraits. I picked up the piece of paper that was wrapped around the vase, and I looked at the vendor. I said, "How much is this?" And he's like, oh, he looked at me like I was insane. He's like, "Oh, please just take it." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So it was like wild. But again, like it was the I just had the craziest reaction. They probably looked at me like, "Oh, some crazy lady collecting paper," but okay. Yeah, it was just really funny. I'm telling you, the display of like the vendor had just like amazing like pieces like of just, oh, you want the Pizza Hut coupon? All right. But again, that's why I love the flea markets and swap meets. It's because you just find what they call the grails, right? And that's just where I got the t-shirt, was because it was in a storage box. And luckily for me, I was able to pick it up before it hit that store on Melrose for $100.
Yeah. Now, you're talking grails. What's like your dream find? What do you wake up like? I used to always have dreams of finding vintage toys in a toy shop, and I'd wake up and I'd go, "Damn it!" But what's your one day to?
So there is we're talking about the liquid the vintage t-shirts. There is Padme Amidala liquid blue t-shirt that came out when Phantom Menace came out. The same brand, liquid blue. Same exact brand. It's a maroon style tie-dye, and it had these beautiful portraits of Queen Amidala, of Padme, like these awesome side profile pictures. And I'm telling you, I've Googled, I've researched, I've eBayed. The amount that people are asking for this t-shirt is insane. So I hope one day we're gonna just force wills it that I just go to the flea market and I look in the box and I find a Padme Amidala liquid tea vintage t-shirt. I think I'd be able to retire. I think I'd just be done thrifting, because I think I'm kind of trying to like look for stuff and like maybe it's gonna fill the void, this Padme t-shirt. But
see that I'm just imagining now in the future seeing that real sort of cliche thrifting thumbnail YouTube thing with you holding it up with giant letters like, "I found it, Grail found."
Yeah, that's it, done. And then I would just cancel everything. I would just be like, "You guys, it's been an honor, but I'm done."
So is it the Padme one with all different? It's like a montage of photos of her, sort of like
3 photos. There's one.
Yes.
Yeah, and it looks so, it looks so cool. But I love it so much, and I would be so, to ever own something like that would be really cool. Just because again, I talk about the prequels. I love all Star Wars, but the prequels were just my really just big introduction to this big, what we love so much about Star Wars. And Padme Amidala was definitely a big one of my favorite characters. And just to be like, yo, if I can ever find this vintage tea and represent, I would. So
that is a banger. And yeah, you are it. That sort of stuff. Like when I go like at round 2, that all that liquid blue, that is in hot demand.
It's insane. It's pretty wild. But I follow a lot of like Instagram profiles accounts who do go out looking for vintage teas, and they actually have a lot of them have a really cool collection, and it's really neat to look around and see.
Well, I reckon the will of the Force, one will be coming your way. I love that's a very serene, make it happen sort of deal. Hey, Silver, it has been so fun to chat. I've got to bail back to family life, but I could have you pulling up those. Like, I've had so much fun. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I do need to know, though, before you go, out of all the Star Wars things that are heading down the track in films and on Disney Plus, what are you most hoping? What are you most looking forward to finding merch of in 10 years' time? What is striking your fancy?
As far as all the new stuff coming out, and well, right now I'm really enjoying all the High Republic stuff. So hopefully we get some High Republic toys and figures up in here. I'm looking forward to the Anakin Obi-Wan show coming out. So hopefully we get some, there's, some cool merch that comes with that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm excited for all of it. And everyone, please go visit a thrift shop once in a while. You'll find some cool things.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I do you know what the weirdest thing will be to find in 10 years' time? Star Wars face masks. Won't that bring us back to 2020? Remember those days?
Like, oh, remember that time? Yeah. Oh, for sure. Wait, what happened in 2020? I'm not really sure what happened. Wait, happened? What are you talking about? The Great Easter.
See? It's a great bit. It's a great bit.
It's great. I love this bit. I would use it.
I
appreciate you for inviting me on the show. This is awesome. I had a great time.
Oh, cheers. And like, I love your account. It fills me with nothing but joy to see all the things that you've found. Yeah, we so appreciate it. And what's your you're launching the vlogs next week?
Yeah, I'm so excited, you guys. I'm gonna be on YouTube. Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel, Star Wars Thrifting. So that my first silver is gold. Yo.
Mike.
My parents named me Silver. I'm like, so I'm just second place. Okay, cool.
Oh.
No, I'm on Instagram at Star Wars_thrifting. Also just joined Twitter. But yes, I have a YouTube channel called Star Wars Thrifting, and that's where I'll be sharing my thrifting adventures, and you can kind of see what I'm finding. I find coupons. We might find another plate, an Obi-Wan Mountain Dew can.
Final banger.
We might find some Return of the Jedi cards. I don't know. You find some wild stuff. So please, come join me. Star Wars Thrifting. Excellent.
Thank you guys so much. Silver, I just had so much fun, and so glad that you could do it. Really appreciate it. If you're listening on the podcast feed, you could click on YouTube and see all the cool stuff that Silver was holding up, and also hit subscribe on Star Wars Thrifting and on Steele Wars, because we're pumping out daily news shows. Also, help out that algorithm. If you are watching on delay on YouTube, get in the comments and tell us your favorite things that you found thrifting, and we'll have a chat about that. But you know what I love about this? Just timeless, hassle-free, goofing around, talking about Star Wars, which is
what it should be.
That's what I got into it for, Silver.
That's what I got into it for too. I'm just having a good time. I'm not, I'm just having fun.
But even fun things have to come to an end, because this podcast's gone on
long enough.
So help out that algorithm. Make sure you're following Silver on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. at Star Wars Thrifting. Do the search and it'll pop up. It's fine. There's underscores. There's all sorts of business going on. But you will find it because the Force will be with you. That Force. And the special Padme top. It's coming your way. This is the way. Thanks, everyone. That was super fun.
Bye.
Seriously, though, I hated those plates in the 90s. Got to tell you.